My name is Jill, that's Freedom and Lilith, and you are here at Gathered Wisdom, on a nomadic lifestyle. And these are just a few of the winter and keeping warm tips that I've learned living in my tiny travel trailer, although it would be the same if you were in the RV. Let's get started. And today I just wanted to give you a couple tips on winterizing and keeping warm in the wintertime, because I've been doing this 5 years now, and lower elevation is better. That's tip number one. Right now I'm at 6,500 feet, but I just wanted to give you a couple things that I've learned progressively over the years. So the first one is, even though this thing is a mess, it's just one of those lightweight nylon coveralls. It seals in the air, and my personal secret, 3 layers of shirts. Base layer, second layer, and then usually cotton, and then the third layer is usually some kind of wool. That is my secret to staying warm, and then wool underwear when it's really cold. But that's tip number one. So tip number 2 is where I sleep, and it looks like this. This is what I call my cardboard cave. So what it looks like from this perspective is I create a tiny little area where I can put multiple heaters. So I have the oil heater, which is the best. This is a secondary heater. And then this is my parabolic heater, which to me, this parabolic heater and the oil heater, they are the best combination. But when it gets, close to zero, this is what I do when the rest of the trailer freezes down, so that I can at least stay warm in one place with the dog and the cat, where we cuddle under the blankies. That's tip number 2. So tip number 3 for me is I've learned to, if I open all the windows, and I have very good windows in this trailer, but if I open all the windows and I face south, it can be 35 degrees and I can turn the heat off. So I get enough heating, passive heating from the sun, as long as it's clear-ish and 35 degrees, to keep the whole trailer warm. So that is tip number 3. Figure out which direction you need to park in, both winter and summer. All the difference in the world. This, whatever this silver stuff is, I don't know what it's called, but I use it in the summer to keep the heat out, and in the winter to keep the heat in and the cold out. While it doesn't look good, it works really well. I even use it in my little vent, although I don't think it makes that much difference. I learned this one the hard way. What happens in RVs and travel trailers is when you sleep on your bed, their body heat travels through the mattress, so depending on what's underneath the mattress, sometimes condensation forms. It was kind of gross when I figured out a couple years later what to do about it. Now you can buy something expensive, or... Alright, I can't show you because the dog is on the bed. Or... same solution. I just put cardboard under there. I got really good, I found it free on a build site. I got really good cardboard that was thick with a lot of air pockets in it, and so that has worked perfectly well. So my mattress is not sweaty, damp, and moldy. I learned that one the hard way. Okay, if you've been in an RV or travel trailer, you are very familiar with duct tape, but I think they just make it cheaper now because it doesn't seem to last. Now, can you see that? It's this aluminum foil tape. I use it for everything. It works 1,000 times better. Plus, it doesn't leave the residue when you pull it up. I'm going to show you what I mean. So I can't, the sun is bright. So I tape these windows and I keep all the air out that I can. And this stuff, 1,000 times better. Now we're over here on the shady side of the trailer. And this time of year, this side doesn't get any sun, so that creates its own issues. But I don't even know what I was thinking. I didn't figure this out the first couple years, but All of those are vents, and so I finally figured out it would be a good idea to tape over the vents so the air didn't blow in. I know, duh. So what I'm showing you now is underneath the trailer, and now the wind's blowing again. I know most people say to cover that up so that it is insulated, but I didn't find anything any warmer except for the 8 billion rodents that moved under my trailer. So personally, that didn't work for me. So what I'm showing you there is I did two things. One is I covered the windows with a piece of plastic because they don't seal and they leak. Then use that aluminum tape to seal it, and then put one of those heavy-duty panels that's got about a 30% blocks out the sun in the summertime, but it also helps keep the heat in the wintertime. I don't know what number we're on at this point. What I'm showing you right here is a cautionary tale. I guess I should put this at the front of the video. This is an old trailer, and this is a propane lamp. And I think I was poisoning myself not too long ago. So that's what the tape is for, is to keep the propane out. But what's really critical when you are living in a really tiny space like this, and then also trying to keep it warm by keeping the air inside and the cold air outside, is that you can die either from, if you're using any kind of wood or propane heat that's sucking up the oxygen, that can be dangerous. Or if you have your gases leaking inside the trailer. Unfortunately, I kind of learned that lesson the hard way. So that one is very important. That's why I like the oil heater and the parabolic heater the best, because they're, number one, they're totally quiet, and number two, they don't suck out the oxygen, so I am less likely to die, although I'm in and out of the trailer like 50 times a day taking that damn dog to the bathroom. The last thing I'm showing you are the blankets. I stick blankets up everywhere, and those little $3 flannel blankets or fleece blankets you can get at Walmart, they are perfect because it doesn't matter if they get dirty, but I shove them in every single corner in the wintertime. That, I have found, really makes a difference. So the most important tip I can give you is it is a great time to bake in winter, and there's nothing better than fresh bread while you are freezing to death. Although, because it's so cold in here, I have to put it in the window with the sun, and I point the parabolic heater on it. That makes it rise. And that is the end of my fabulous winter tips. I think I have a few more, but we'll keep that for next time. And with that, thank you for joining me here at my gathered wisdom on my nomadic lifestyle, and I hope you'll come check out the road report, where I'm really talking about leadership, or the vlogs that will show you the real story.